I'm in the stadium in Hong Kong. It's the night before the game. It will be the third or fourth time that I've seen Manchester United play here. I started going on pre-season tours when I was 17 or 18. In fact, my first one was to Sweden and to Norway in 1991 and again in 1992. And that was a time when United played in front of really small crowds. I saw United in a small stadium in Drammen, the old stadium there at Stromstad. I've probably pronounced that wrong. In Kristiansand, not Sund, in Stavanger, and then in Molde. And there were less than 4,000 people at the stadium in Molde. Imagine that now, Manchester United's first team playing a game in front of so few people. And after the match, all the players went out in the town around Molde. They were mingling with supporters, but some of the supporters there told me that a few years previous they'd watched United play in front of even fewer fans in Bornholm Island, which is somewhere in the middle of the Baltic Sea, a part of Sweden. I watched United grow and grow. In 1995 I saw United play in Malaysia, and I arrived there about a week before the tour, and yet the type of promoters United dealt with was so amateurish. I remember reading a newspaper report in Kuala Lumpur saying Manchester United may play this Friday or they may not. It's still not been decided because there was an argument over money. You just couldn't imagine something like that happening now. As United got more professional, more slick, they started to play in bigger stadiums in bigger cities, and that meant bigger match fees. So Scandinavia lost out because the biggest stadium in Norway, for example, only holds 25,000 people. You couldn't charge enough money to justify it and compete when you've got stadiums in North America and Asia which hold 50, 60, 70,000 people. So there's been a pattern over the last 15 years. America, Asia, America, Asia. The trip to Oslo last year was the first time in a decade. United go to these places, one, because they get huge match fees, two, because it allows them to meet sponsors face to face and say to them, look, we're not just going to hide away in Manchester, we're going to come and meet you, we'll come this summer. Free, because it helps with merchandising. If United can come to a place like Hong Kong, then it becomes headline news, and anybody who isn't already aware of Manchester United, of which most people are, they can actually come and watch a live game, and that can be the beginning of what is hoped to be a lifelong attachment to the club. So United tour around the world in the wealthy markets where there are promoters who can afford to pay Manchester United. There are places where United are hugely popular and where they still haven't been to. Vietnam, for example. India, I'm amazed that United have not been to India yet. South America, although the Spanish teams like Barcelona and Madrid, they're far more popular in South America, but even they don't go there. Central America, again, that's the preserve of Barcelona and Madrid. United go to North America, they go to Asia, or the oil-rich Arab nations. So I've seen United play in Saudi Arabia a couple of years ago, and all along you get a tiny band of followers, 30 or 40 people, who aren't really so bothered about the football. They just like to see United play in different countries. So what's going to happen in the future? More of the same. United will continue to play to the biggest stadiums and selling them out as well, because even as recently as 2005 United played in Beijing in front of 26,000 people in a 50,000 seater stadium. So it's only now that United have got this really slick operation where they're selling out all of these stadiums pre-season. The game in Sydney was watched by 83,000 people, and the promoters said that they could have sold it out 3 times over. This game in Hong Kong, there'll be 40,000 people here. Well, there will be if the game goes ahead, because it's been raining heavily for the last few days. The pitch is in a state, it's been covered up at the moment, and the pre-match press conference has all been about the state of the pitch. And after here, United will go back to Manchester before coming back to Scandinavia. Of course, there's a big new stadium in Sweden, that's the reason.